For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good, guys? It's Fire here, back from the video, and today I'm be showing you guys my full updated Trey flex offensive scheme. Now, I uploaded this video in early August, so I'm just gonna update it here. I got tons of way better setups, updated setups, just to absolutely dominate out of the formation. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you guys how to get 4 wide receivers here, because you don't want a tight end. Tight end's slow. So what I'm going to do is get Michael Thomas at tight end. So I'm just going to flick my right stick to the tight end slot package. You guys see, when I go to there, Jared Cook and Michael Thomas are actually going to flip spots. So boom, Michael Thomas at tight end. But you're also going to want to sub Jared Cook out unless you want to put your receiver there. So let's just go ahead and put Deontay Harris there. There you got 4 receivers on your field. You got more speed, and in MUT, you can definitely do way more things with that. Something I also recommend with the formation is that you get a wide receiver apprentice or a slot apprentice right here with Michael Thomas at your tight end slot. It's just going to open things up a little bit. I'm going to show you guys setups that you don't need it, but it would definitely help with a couple of the setups I'm going to go over. So setting my audibles, I've preset them. I got dagger, read option, SE corner, and levels out. These are definitely the 4 best plays. You could go with inside zone instead of read option. I personally prefer read option, even though I am using a turtle with Drew Brees. Read option is still better. And yeah, I'm also going to be going over verticals and this levels wide corner a little bit later in the video. So let's go ahead, hop into our first play, this dagger. Dagger is going to be good against cover 3, cover 2, pretty much just the basic formations, man coverage. Dagger pretty much beats every formation. Now, something that you're going to want to do is I'm going to respot the ball here. You want your trips to be on the wide side always. So if I was on that left hash mark, I could just flip my play. But against cover 3, also, I do have a lot of other setups on this play. I uploaded a couple of other videos, but I'm still going to go over it here. Just dagger. Dagger's definitely the base play of the formation. You build everything else around dagger. So right off the bat, you can just come out here, run it stock, snap that ball, boom. Check down to your drag. And I was accidentally on that linebacker right there. But it's very good stock. You have a drag, you have a deep in route, you have a lot of different things that you can throw. So you guys see, all you're going to do is just block your running back. You have a drag, you have a crosser. Let's say both of those are defended. You can check down late to your in route. And you also have a streak, so in case he's trying to play a little bit risky, user that free safety. Maybe he's doing something like that. And then you could go ahead and just go and just throw that streak. Now, this crosser is probably not going to get as open just because I have a 66 receiver right there, so keep that in mind. Cover 3 is better at defending it than cover 2, in my opinion. But again, you just put A on a drag, and if you actually want a better clear out, you could put A on a streak. But just going right off the bat, I'm showing you guys the stock setups. Let's go ahead, roll out here. And there you see, way more open. So when you're throwing that crosser, you really do want to get out of the pocket. It's easier to throw if you get out of the pocket rather than sitting in the pocket. Again, I'll show you guys a couple more times. Let's roll out with Breeze. And you can actually leave that option. You guys see when I leave that option, it seems to be a little bit more open. So I just always block my players. But again, that's pretty much it for the stock setup. Next setup is just going to be to open up the crosser even more. Now, the way you're going to open up the crosser is with a clear out. So I could either put A on a streak, and then maybe I'll put Y on a drag, motion him over. Or what I like to do is just keep A on a drag, and then I'm just going to motion over the streak. So here's a look at the setup. You motion, snap him a little bit past that crosser, and you can still throw your drag, you can still throw crosser, you can still throw your in route. But this does open up that in route just a little bit more. Again, here I don't even have to make any hot routes except for blocking my running back. I just motion him over to the right hand side, and I'm just going to motion hike him right about there. Again, like I said, I try to roll out, and you guys see that he is absolutely wide open right there on that crossing route. So those are the two main setups, two most basic setups. Another thing you could do is, let's say they just blitz 7. The way that I like to max protect is going to be, all you're going to do is just motion Y. You're going to motion hike him right there. He's going to block. You have 7 people blocking. You can make a read. As you guys see, we check down there. And you have a drag, crosser, in route. It's going to be very hard on his user to defend that. And that's really what you want when people blitz 7 people. So let's hop into our last setup of this play. It's going to be utilizing the route specialist, route technician, or not route specialist, but the route apprentice that you have. And it's going to be basically creating 2 high-low reads. So what you're going to, actually, I think I might have 2 more setups, but sorry, I just have tons of setups for this play. Alright, so what you're going to do is put A on a post. So that's just putting him on a post route. You're going to put Y on a hitch route. And then you're just going to put X on a streak. You're going to motion X over to this right side. You have 2 high-low reads, the post, the hitch, and then the crosser to the streak. Basically, you're just making a read as we just get screamed at. These routes are a little bit slower developing, so keep that in mind. If you want to go with the setup, I would even recommend maybe even running your trips to the short side here. Just because I feel like the post does get open a little bit more. It's going to make your crosser a little bit shorter developing, but I feel like the post gets open a little bit more when you're on that short side. Don't quote me on that though. Again, you're putting your A receiver on that post. Boom, he's wide open. Pass lead to the left. And basically, when that player's on hitch, he's gonna pull down cloud flats, curl flats, every zone. That's why the hitch post route combo is so deadly. Again, here's a look at that route combo. A on a post, Y on a hitch, X on a streak. Again, you can only do this if you have that route tech or route apprentice. So keep that in mind. But a lot of people at least have 1 route apprentice on their roster. Again, A's wide open. Drew Brees has that weird pass lead elite ability. That's the reason that some of these won't get caught. I'll go over it one more time. This time I'm going to throw the crosser. Again, you guys see, same exact setup. And let's go ahead and motion. I like to motion him a couple steps past. Let's roll out here with Brees. I wait, and then I pass lead to the right side, wide open. And yeah, that's probably my favorite setup. It's just very difficult on his user, and you just have to make a read. See if he follows the crosser, throw the post. If he follows the post, throw the crosser. So now let's hop into our last setup. Again, this is going to be sort of opening up this crosser a little bit more. And what I like to do is, this is another one of my favorite max protect setups. So I'm going to motion Y in, motion hike in. We're going to block 7 here. So we got a hitch, we got a crosser, and we also have that in route. I think that crosser actually got bumped down the field because that was a deep route, but still open. And you guys see it should be getting open against a lot of coverages. Again, you're just going to max protect, put A on a hitch, and motion block Y. Very good route combo, very good max protect combination as well. You guys see A is going to do a perfect job at pulling that vert hook down, and then the crosser will do its job getting over that cloud flat. So that's it for Dagger. I know that was a mouthful, but I mean, there is a lot of plays out of that formation, a lot of route combos, and that is really the staple of the formation. Let's hop into the read option though, and then we'll hop into our other pass plays. Read option, you could go with inside zone, but read option, sometimes this outside linebacker, Olukun, he's actually going to follow, he's going to sometimes just play the quarterback, especially if they have their coaching adjustment set to that. So even though I'm using Drew Brees, sometimes he will actually do that. Now, if you have a mobile quarterback, you can definitely keep the ball a lot of times. You don't need fast break, you don't need escape artist. As long as he has a good speed rating, it will work. But there you guys see, he actually followed Drew Brees. Like, he thought Drew Brees was going to run the ball, and then you can basically do the rest with Alvin Kamara. It just takes one player out of the play that if I ran inside zone, he would just fall down every single time. You're basically taking an extra linebacker out of the play. And, you know, if he is following the quarterback, you're 100% going to hand that off. Something I like to do is also motion that player. So you guys saw, again, that linebacker actually played the QB. But I feel like a little bit of motion helps, especially motioning this player inside. Right about there. Again, look at that hole right up the middle. This is probably the best inside zone in the game, in my opinion. Either this one or the tight slots one. But read option, if your playbook doesn't have read option, then it's cool to just run inside zone. You can still run that motion, but it just takes away an extra player. There's no reason to run inside zone, especially when read options in your playbook. You guys see that linebacker, and hey, I actually can keep it with Drew Brees, 70 speed, and I picked up 10 yards right there. So, and you don't necessarily need escape artist to run the read option effectively. Just don't fumble, don't keep it and then get hit sticked. Play very conservative with this. One last time, motion that slot receiver in, motion hike him right there. And that time I still could have kept it, even though he did follow me, but we still pick up 10 to 15 yards right there with Kamara. Well, with that being said, let's hop into our next play, this SE corner. Now, this play is very interesting. What I like to do is motion this corner route over, because this corner route doesn't really get open against too many coverages. So I'm also going to respot the ball here. But the route combination that I like to go to is going to be, I'm in the wrong play. What I like to do is I'm going to block my running back. First things first, I'm going to put Y on a streak, and I'm going to put X on a slant. Now, the last thing, or you could also put A on a streak. There's a lot of things. You don't want X and A in the same spot, so I would say maybe put them on a hitch. You could also put them on a drag route. So either put A on a streak, hitch, or drag. There's a lot of things you can do. But the last thing, you're going to motion Harris over. He's going to be on a post route now. You can hike that ball, and he really will get open against a lot of coverages. Look how open he is right there. And let's say his opponent doesn't user it, or he does user it, you have A on a drag. You also have this backside slant that will get open. So again, here's a look at that play art. Just going to go ahead, set it up, and that's a look. You could either slant this far guy or this slot guy. I usually prefer the slot guy. Again, just motion this player over, motion hike him right when he passes Michael Thomas. I could check down to Thomas if I wanted to, and you guys see I'm still picking up a lot of yardage. So if he's playing super over the top, you have to take your drags, especially in this scheme. Don't be afraid to take your drag routes. And you could really run this from either hash mark again, so it doesn't have to be with your trips on the wide side. So again, I could put A on a drag, Y on a slant, X on a streak, and motion B over, blocking a running back like this. Oh, I'm in the wrong play. Let's just hike it. Breeze with the overthrow, but we're cool. So again, you just really want to utilize corner routes. People don't do that enough, in my opinion. You have a good corner route, motion it over, turn it into a post. It just opens up a lot of the plays that you could run. Again, this is going to work against pretty much every coverage, cover 2 or cover 3. You guys see, let's say he defends it, I could low ball the slant. So if he's following that post route, the low ball slant will be open a ton. Definitely throw that a lot. And the low ball slant is very underrated. This is probably better if you run your trips from the wide side. But if you want a little bit of a shorter route, then you could go with this. And you could also leave that table route open if you wanted to. So if you don't want to block your running back, you could just create another threat, another thing to distract his user. But you're only blocking 5, and you might just get blitzed to death. So be careful about that. One last time, though, here's a look at that setup. I'm just not going to block RB. And then it basically creates another high-low read. You got a table route to slant route. This will be better, but you also will get screamed at. So be careful about that. Snap the ball, and let's hit B. Wide open. You guys see nobody in the area code. Drew Brees misses that pass because he has pass lead elite, but you guys see wide open. We shredded him. So let's hop into the last play of this segment. Now again, you're going to want to run your trips on the wide side, and actually you don't have to. For this one, I actually kind of like to run on the short side, so that's bad by me. But it's going to be this levels out. And this one's going to be another one of the rollout concepts, the post turning into a corner route. So this is literally the opposite of what we had for SE corner. We had a corner route, we motioned it, turned it into a post. For this play, we have a post, we're going to turn it into a corner route. So what we're going to do, put A on a streak, first things first, and then you can do whatever you want with these two receivers. You could go with something like this, Y on a hitch, X on an in route. You could go with something like this, Y on a flat, X on a curl, but usually I would rock with this route combo. You could also put Y on the drag, but basically that's just a simple flood concept. If you want to, like, distinct high-low reads, I would go with the flat curl. But boom, A on a streak. You're going to motion Deontay Harris all the way over. And you're going to motion snap him right about there. You want to sort of roll out. And boom, right over the top of the coverage. This will absolutely kill cover 2. It's not going to beat cover 3. This will only beat cover 2. But this is as good as it gets as a cover 2 beater. Any play with like a deep post, you can motion it over. There's one in split close. There's one in a slot offset. There's one in strong close. There's a ton of these types of concepts, and this is just another one. I don't think this play is used enough, like I've said. But again, here's a look at that play art. Again, you can just go with 2 different route combos. Let's say he sells out on your crosser. You could either take your zig, you could take your curl. A lot of stuff you could do. But all of that is necessary. Motion Deontay over and motion hike him. You want to snap him as early as you can so that you can roll out and throw that. Now, Drew Brees is going to be missing a lot of these passes, and he doesn't have escape artist, so it is difficult for me to roll out and sort of demonstrate this play. But what you want to do, like I said, you want to be able to just get that ball out as quickly as possible, because it is going to be a little bit of a slower developing play. Keep that in mind. You want to get this chop block if you can, so you can even stride out, take a couple steps to that right hash mark, and make life easier on yourself. But again, this is going to absolutely kill cover 2. That safety's not going to be doing anything because we have that player. And look at that. You could easily get a touchdown off this play. If their safety's in bad positioning, you could easily pick up 6 out of this play. And this is such an underrated play. People are expecting you to run dagger. They're expecting you to run like PA crossers when you come out in this play art. But nope, you are running this play, and it should absolutely torch cover 2 100% of the time. Even if they have a soft squat, it does not matter. So let's show it one last time, and then we'll hop into our last 2 plays of the video. Again, you could really rock with anything on this left side. But really, you want to distract his user. You don't want him using this, and he's not going to expect it. So even if he does user it, is he really going to be able to get out there that fast? You guys see Brees with the overthrow. I could have thrown that from the pocket as well, but the zones do pull down a little bit more when you roll out, so keep that in mind. But with that being said, let's hop into our last 2 plays. Now, I don't really use that levels wide corner play too much. I'll go over it briefly, though. The play I really wanted to touch up on is going to be vertical, so let's hop into that. Now this is going to be, I have another cover 2 beater out of this, and this is going to be good against cover 3 as well. So again, those 2 defenses. Let's start out with the cover 2 beater. This one's going to be very similar to the other one, but what you're going to do here is you need this route apprentice for this setup, this particular setup that's going to beat cover 2. Put A on a corner route, and then you're going to motion this Y player all the way over. Now you could also be on the short side for this one. You could have your trips on the wide side. But again, you're going to put, actually, I don't know, I kind of like this short side look a little bit, especially when I'm attacking that right side of the field. So what I'm going to do, put A on a corner out, like I said, you're going to block your running back, and all you're going to do is motion Smith over to this side. So I'm just going to put X on a drag as well. And then I'm going to try and roll out. You're going to hit this seam route on the right side of the field. You guys see, snap it right about there. You don't want him to get set, but boom, roll out. He's wide open. Of course, we can't get the ball off because somehow Kamara doesn't know how to chop block. Great game, but again, A on a corner. This is one of those situations where you need route apprentice on that receiver or slot apprentice, either one. Just make sure you can get those extra hot routes, at least for this setup. But again, this is going to be a different setup because you are motioning somebody else. But again, I might put X on a drag as well. I'm going to try and chop block here as well, try to get out. But basically this little seam route, you're going to motion it out, turn it into sort of a backside corner. Look how open that is, even with a bad throw. Just throw it over the top. Boom. I'm going to see if I can throw this from the pocket now, but you guys see, just put so much stress on that cloud flat. The cloud flat's going to follow the corner out 100 out of 100 times, and it's going to open up the seam route. You can really do this out of any verticals play. I've done this out of trips tight end when I was in Oakland. You can do it out of pretty much any verticals similar to this one. But snap him before he gets over there. You could snap throw it as well. Look at that. The cloud flat doesn't defend it. Not sure what it is about it, but if you just snap throw it like I did there, there's no chance that the cloud flat's going to play it. It beats soft squats as well, but you have to wait a little bit on the soft squat. The soft squats can be difficult and they can lurk you. I'll show it a couple more times here. just put X on a drag, A on a corner route, block your running back, motion that seam route all the way over, and then wait for him to get to the end, snap the ball, pass lead all the way to the right side. I can do a little bit of a swerve catch there and very easily take that for 6. This is such an underrated route combination, and people don't use these backside seam motions to beat cover 2 enough. I just started using them. I wish I was using them all year, but I'll show one last time. I'm going to try and wait a little bit, but you can easily throw this from the pocket. You don't have to roll out by any means necessary. Boom, I wait, no chance the safety gets there, no chance that the corner gets there, and that's a touchdown. So that's pretty much it for the cover 2. Against cover 3, what you really want to do is attack the seams. Now against cover 3, I like to run my trips on the wide side. Against cover 2, run on the short side. So 2 different things. But against cover 3, you could just go ahead and run it stock. That's something that you could rock with. I'm in the wrong play, but you could just go ahead and run it stock. You don't have to make any adjustments. You got a drag, you got this post, you got the seam route. Basically, Drew Brees misses that. This is a good play for the red zone. Not so much. I'm not a big fan of attacking the seams in that situation right off the bat, but you could. I like to go in the red zone, but boom, you guys see, you could take your drag. You could also maybe fit that seam route in. It's a little bit more open in-game. Practice mode is difficult, especially against this 3-4 odd cover 3. But the setup I like to go to the most is going to put your running back on a wheel route, and you're going to put this player on a corner route. So you're keeping that same thing. This is just going to create a high-low read, and your wheel route's basically just going to get wide open. This works against cover 2 as well. You just have to be careful on which zone you want to defend, or don't be lurked by like a hard flat that they might put out there. So again, this is something that you could rock with. I like to put B on a hitch, and then maybe if I add 2 receiver apprentices, I would have one here. Maybe to put this guy on a post, but for video's sake, I'll just run it like this again. And if I wait a little bit, I think I can throw that late. And you guys see we drop it, so you might just want to take your wheel. I know against cover 2, if you wait a little bit, you can complete that. But overall, this is just a great route combo. This is against cover 2. Take your wheel route wide open. You guys already saw it against cover 3. I'll show it one last time. So here's cover 3. Same thing. RB on a wheel, A on a corner. Snap that ball. And you guys see, against cover 3, the corner route's going to be the read. That first one, I think I was actually in cover 2. But cover 3, you want to take your corner out. Cover 2, take the wheel. Simple read. Alright, that's going to take us to our last play, levels wide corner. Now this play, very interesting. You guys will see a lot of people run this online. Something I like to do is just run this. B on a streak, Y on a slant, X on a in route. Basically, oh shoot, I had B, but I just accidentally pump faked. But basically, this is just going to be a quick read. See where your opponent's using. More times than not, out of this Trey Y flex, people are going to try and lurk down on your table route with RB. You could snap throw that if you wanted to, like this. That's a read that you could make. And if you make that, let's say 2 times in a row, your opponent's going to be worried about that. He might man him up. He might put his player in a hard flat. And if you want to make levels wide corner even better, you could put this player on a better corner route as well. But basically, I like to put B on a streak, Y on a slant. That's just going to create a little bit more opportunity for you. You could take your seams with Deontay Harris right there. You guys see I'm able to throw that pass. And you can also snap throw B. So if, let's say they run a send 7 type of a blitz. Let's say they're just sending the dogs at you. You can just make a simple read. Usually when they send 7, they like to lurk on this right side. But boom, I'm going to put B on a streak, Y on a slant, and I can just snap throw the slant. I could snap throw the streak and low ball possession catch. There's a lot you could do. And I don't go to this play too often, maybe once a game. It's pretty good in the red zone as well. One setup I like to go to in the red zone though is just going to be this. You're going to put A on a hitch, keep that table route. It's just going to be a good route combo, and it's just going to open up the hitch a little bit more than it would without the hitch, especially in the red zone. If not, you can usually low ball that hitch. Or you could just dump it down to B late in the play because he is on that deep in route. But that's going to go ahead and do it for the video. This is a longer video, but I had to go over a lot of plays. This is way better than the one I uploaded earlier in the year, and I have a ton of updated setups out of this like you just saw. So if you enjoyed, could you please hit that like button, get those likes up if you want more videos like this one. If you want me to remake a couple of the schemes I uploaded earlier in the year, bunch tight end, I have a ton of different ones. But yeah, make sure you hit that sub button, and peace. I'm out of here.